All right, good afternoon. Excited about being 1-0. Season opener, home opener. Even though it's played in some unique conditions, excited about what our guys were able to get out there and get accomplished. Going through that game, it was one that going through the pregame and everything leading up to kickoff was unique because the weather, the wind, the rain was all somewhat in a sense distracting almost for our guys, and that was one of the biggest things that we were talking to them about. It was the first time we didn't do the Tiger Walk, just because of the conditions that were there. And so it kind of changed our normal routine, but I thought they handled it really well. And that was something that we came out, I thought we started fast, and we created a takeaway on the opening kickoff. We were able to kind of establish a running game, getting a lot of positive that came out of the game. But going back, watching the film, obviously being there on the field, we still have a lot of areas that we need to improve on how we finished. And I thought there was a little bit of a lull there late, but it was definitely great to finish up 1-0. I thought our guys really went out and competed hard, but it gives a great opportunity to learn from and to build towards this week. The game did come at a cost. We had a couple players that went down. Jared Gentry and Darian Porter will both miss the rest of the season. They'll be out for the year. Jackson Dillon, we're going to continue to evaluate. He'll be out this week, but there's we're going to see how he progresses and make a determination on what his immediate future looks like here in the next coming weeks. The rest of the guys are going to be as the week goes on, and we'll see exactly where they are in their rehabilitation. But definitely hate it for Darian and Jared, with the injuries that were sustained. So, looking forward to this week. Man, this is our conference opener. This is one that, we understand the importance of this game. This is a game that we've spent a lot of time on, this summer as a staff, making sure that we had our advanced scouting and work preparing for this opportunity, because this is, the home opener and the conference opener are two big keys for us. And having to go on the road to play in a team that I believe is one of the best in our conference. Got a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Frost and the job that he does. Their offense, defense, special teams, every phase. We're going to play an explosive team. I think you look at last week, they showcased that in their win over Florida International. I think it's 61-17. They were dominant in every phase of the game. This is a team that is a championship level team, in my opinion. And so it's going to take us going and playing, our best game. And, it's going to be definitely going to be a dogfight all the way to the end. I can guarantee. But our kids are excited about the week of preparation. Having a few extra days was good. Let our guys' bodies heal up a little bit and get an early look at Central Florida. But we know it's going to be a great battle, and our guys are excited about the week coming up to prepare. To go out there and play a wonderful game.
Hey, Coach, they play a similar up-tempo style like we do on offense. Is it easier or harder to prepare for that type of team?
Well, the good thing is at least we see tempo, and for our defense, every tempo team is different and unique to themselves, and so as we're going out there to play, it won't be the first time our guys line up to tempo, and we try to do it every single day in practice. But there are some new challenges for our scout teams to make sure that we get the exact look of what we can expect to see from Central Florida, and going at that speed is something that we're going to have to do a great job at this week and be efficient in our work and our preparation. But to say easier or harder, it's all challenging. What makes it challenging is the quarterback that they have, the big guys up front, and then a lot of the skill position players are very explosive, and so they do a great job with their schemes and how they attack defenses. No, obviously, we can't control the weather, and I don't know where that's at right now exactly. For what it's going to look like Saturday. I can tell you we played in a rain game so far this season, so we got that under our belt, and but we can't control any of those factors, but we have to prepare for every situation, regardless of whether the forecast was sunny. We'd work on using on our wet ball drills and doing things, because we always want to be prepared for those situations, but we got to focus on what we can control.
When you went back and watched the film, what did you see from Riley, and how much of that do you think was related to just Westwood balls and the weather?
You know, I think it was. I definitely think it was challenging, especially in the first half. You know, both teams really struggled in the first half to throw the football, and you know, and I put that some on. You know, he was never able to get into a rhythm and kind of get himself settled into that. You know, I think I could have done a better job of helping him do that at times. But you know, as we went back and looked at it, we got in the second half, and I thought he did a nice job. You know, that third quarter drive where he hit Phil Mayhew, was able to hit Kadarian, got the ball out to Anthony. You know, that got him into a little bit of rhythm. We were able to get down there and score. You know, I think it was a field goal on that drive, but you know, it did affect it. And you know, being around Riley for every game last season, and then you know, obviously the time that we have, I know how he will respond. I know how he's, you know, what I can expect from him to come out and play. And so you know, I was really pleased. You know, at the end of it, you sit there and, you know, as a coach, you know, our passing game wasn't what we're used to. It wasn't what we, you know, tend to expect. But we were able to carry a game, score points, and have a lot of production on the ground. That was something we needed to happen. And so, you know, I'm excited about the growth we've seen in that regards. And we're going to have to be balanced this week, and we're going to have to be balanced the rest of the season to do what we'd like to accomplish.
Tom mentioned a quarterback. He kind of pretty deep. Always got plays a lot with speed. Is that what you see on film?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he threw for 360 yards, I think, 4 touchdowns. You know, he's got an extremely quick release. He's accurate. But what makes him so very challenging is when things break down. And you know, I know he had a couple of those touchdowns where you know, he kept the play alive. You know, a receiver got lost, and you know, on a scramble drill. So we've got to do a tremendous job of making sure that we match up with their receivers. If he extends a play, we got to try to make sure we keep him contained as best that we can. But you know, if they do get out on the perimeter, we got to be accountable to our man and to our area, not to give up any cheap ones.
One of the guys that got me into UCF last week was the true freshman, Gary Richardson, who's from this area. Is he a guy that you were familiar with through the recruiting process? I know when your staff got here, as he was already committed to Clemson. Is he a guy that you guys knew at all before he went off to school?
Yeah, we knew Kadarian, and you know, he's a big back. You know, as you know, a very talented young man, and so. But we definitely were aware of him and knew about you know, him and his situation. So in recruiting. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning. You know, those guys, everybody that I did not mention is going to be you know, evaluated through this week to see where you know, where their status is. I can't answer that. I don't at this point have an answer for you.
Those younger guys getting an opportunity to get some playing time against ULM now, may see some minutes against UCF as well. How valuable is it that they had that opportunity before you face an offense like UCF?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think, you know, I'd talked a lot, you know, here in camp, guys like TJ Carter, you know, Brian Goodson, John Tate, you know, really having a nice camp. Tim Hart, you know, I thought Tim did a phenomenal job in the game, you know, being able to go in, especially when Jannard went down, and I thought he played really well. You know, Bryce Huff is somebody that you look at where Bryce was this year or last year to where he is this year. I mean, it made a huge jump. And so, you know, being able to see those guys get out there and get that experience and to go out there and make plays, you know, it kind of takes, you know, it eases their nerves a little bit. And, you know, obviously, you know, this week, you know, the levels go up. You're playing a conference opponent. You're playing, you know, one of the better teams, you know, that we'll see here this season, I believe, you know, and they're good in every aspect. So, you know, as you sit there and those guys can build off the experience they just had, that definitely is something that makes us feel better.
Even makes you guys so good on special teams. Do you tend to put more into it? You think other coaching staffs are effective?
Well, I think our football team believes in the importance of our special teams. You know, the work that we put in. We spend a lot of time. You know, Coach Lorig does a phenomenal job. You know, developing schemes that are set for our players. And then when you look at it, I mean, our best players play them. And that's something that a lot of places you go, you kind of play the young guys or guys that might be second or third teamers. Our guys want to play on special teams, and I think we look back to last year. Anthony Miller played over 100 snaps of special teams last year as while being our leading receiver. I mean, you look just across the board. You on the kickoff return the other night with Tony. I mean, Phil Mayhew has a huge block that helps spring it. You got Joey Magnifico. All guys that play for us that are bought into seeing that success. And so I was really happy to see that. We talk a lot about the importance of our return units. Working to change the game, and then on our kickoff cover to open the game. Be able to get the ball out. And create a takeaway. That was huge for us.
Is that something that you had to sell to your best players to play special teams, or were they pretty willing to just go on and perform however kind of they're needed?
Well, I mean, it was kind of expectation coming in, and that's something that for us we want that mentality, because you can't talk about being a team, a brotherhood, and kind of disregarding a third of the game. And so if that's where you can see what your team is made up of. If you look at your special teams and you don't have your best players wanting to be a part of that, you're not going to be very good. If you have a special teams unit that everybody wants to jump in and be a part of impacting the game, it shows you the buy-in and the belief of the importance of every single play. I thought the kickoff return for the touchdown was one of the key plays in the game the other night, and that we talk about it all the time. I don't care who you're playing, when you're playing. Football is going to come down to about one play a game, and so you never know what that one play might be. And so we just want to make sure that we're maximizing each and every one of them with our best players, guys that are bought in and wanting to be in that situation.
All the time, when you see like injuries, how do you feel about that? You kind of hold your breath sometimes when you see Anthony Miller out there?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it can happen on any play, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Anthony Miller making a touchdown-saving tackle on a kickoff cover might be just as important as him making the touchdown catch on a vertical pass. Those things are things that we look at. Every player as we go through. Anthony only usually plays on one special teams, but man, he's the one that we're having to pull him off of it because he wants to cover down. He wants to show this team the importance of it, and we're smart with it. I don't think we have one guy that really starts on more than 3 special teams units, and those are usually guys that are additional starters in those roles or role players.
Coach, did you receive any thank you calls and notes for free throw rules last week? Did you receive that?
Oh, yeah, that's something else there.
With Gentry, how important is O'Brien Woodson? There's another freshman on that side of the ball.
Yeah, no, O'Brien Goodson, John Tate, both guys, they're going to have to, I loved going in. I know we talked a lot about the depth that we had, and I thought we had a 3-man rotation there at that spot that could really keep us fresh. But, with Gentry going down, now it's going to be a 2-man rotation. We have some guys that we can mix in and move, and, if need be. But, now you have 2 freshmen that are playing at that spot, and, I thought both of them I know both of them are extremely talented and guys that have a huge upside. But, that now they've got to jump in there, and, we're kicking off conference play, and they got to play at extremely high level.
Goodson, I know that he was kind of a late addition here right before some work got started. Did you expect him to be able to contribute this much?
Yeah, I thought, when he got himself in a position to be able to report, he was a guy that of everybody that we knew and recruited, I thought he was one that would have probably one of the best chances to have an immediate impact. And so, from the day that he's been here, he's worked, he's put himself in a position, he's got in great shape. But as a football player, he was a guy that I was excited about as excited about recruiting to come in and impact this year as probably anybody that we went after.
Why was that?
He had to finish up some things, academically, and just getting himself in that situation, getting it all done there before we were able to officially sign him. And then when he got everything taken care of, we got his test, got everything set. He was good to go. That it? All right, guys. Thanks so much.